locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Woo! Oh, thank God. Is that all your impression today? Because it wasn't even a good woo.
Of course it was.
It's never a good woo. It's never a good impression.
Let me get it from the.
Yeah. Why don't you try that again?
Woo!
Whoa! What is that?
How about that?
What is that? Shakespearean woo?
Hey, man.
I'm gonna have Ric Flair teach me the figure four just so I can put you in it.
I'm pretty sure Ric Flair would never allow you to do that.
And I'm pretty sure I'd never want to be that close to you. So I guess that works out in the end.
Whatever, wise guy. Welcome back to Duke Loves Rasslin. I am the Duke, and yes, I do enjoy doing Ric Flair impersonations. I'm going to keep on doing them, no matter what my illustrious co-host, the Boston bad boy, I'm Mike Pelosi.
You know, I've realized that your entire life is a bad Ric Flair impression. You've built this in your mind, at least, persona in your head, and you try and do that. But I see what happens when you talk to Babam online. He destroys you every time.
He never destroys me.
And
that never happens.
Your promos don't hold up. Although I will say, over the weekend. I was out with some folks, and I used the spent more money on spilled liquor than you made in a year.
And you're talking about me.
No, but huh? I didn't do the whole... You would have sat up there and done the whole
Absolutely.
bit. You would have started from the beginning. You would have critiqued someone if they didn't get it right.
That's
I just threw that one line in because it's a brilliant line, and everybody thought it was great and thought I'd come up with it, but I did give credit.
Stealing Ric Flair's material.
I gave credit where credit was due.
And what did they say to that?
It was a gift to the world.
You were the coolest guy in the room because you knew a Ric Flair line.
They didn't really know who Ric Flair was, but that's okay.
Know
but after that, they appreciated who he was.
Trust me, they know who Ric
More
Flair
than they
is.
appreciate who he is after you doing your stupid impression.
Well,
Let me tell you that.
They appreciate who I am, and that's all that matters.
I'd like to find that person.
Maybe
your mom.
Speaking about a person, hey, listen, my mom, she'll beat you up, man. You watch your mouth.
No, I'm saying she appreciates you, and God love her for it, because no one else does.
Whatever. Who the heck is Velvet Thunder? Huh?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
That's the question of the day right now. Who is this guy?
Well, I'll tell you, the question of the day is what I got for you coming up later on, but you're not going to like it.
Yeah.
Because, you think you're having a nice little week going here. But,
I am.
And you're going to be a jerk for not liking it, but I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it for later on. I'm going to save it for later in the show.
Just don't
say
worry
about
anything to piss me off.
Don't
today.
worry
I'm
about
having
it.
a good day.
Yeah.
All right. That's right. Well, we're going to find out who Velvet Thunder is a little later on. And I don't know what the Boston Bad Boys talking about. We're going to find out about that too. Get to the bottom of this, like Inspector.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to want. You're going to eat those words.
Whatever,
that's for sure.
Oh, that's plus the top 5 stories in the world of professional wrestling. I'm going to educate this knucklehead over here. Run the ropes. But before we get to any of that, Boston Bad Boy.
Yes.
Ric Flair had a special message for the world.
He did.
Okay, and it was the greatest message ever. Folks, I'm not too big on the colorful language, so I will censor myself.
Yeah. How much censoring do I have to do on this show? Because you have a foul mouth.
Yeah,
you hear that, Mom?
Yeah,
Your son has a foul mouth.
Yeah, everybody knows better than that. People come up to me. You know what they say?
I can imagine the things people say to you.
Hey,
I can imagine. Speaking of foul language.
Yeah, but they say, "Now, Duke, I know you don't swear." They always say that to me. They say that to me before they say something colorful.
It's because you're wearing the sweater vest.
That's right.
They think that you're a wholesome person.
And little
do they know.
I am wholesome.
Little do they know.
Mom's apple pie. That's what I am. But Flair said, and I quote, while I censor myself, "I'm not dead yet, mother." That's right.
Wow. Mm-hmm. You went right for the mother effort.
That's what he said. And then he put out a shirt.
Yeah.
That says, I'm not dead yet, mother effer, and he spelled it out.
Wow. So he's going right after death himself.
That's it.
He's taking him on.
He beat death.
It was a steel cage match, and guess who's still walking?
Kicked out at 2.
That's right.
And then cheated to win. Like the dirtiest player in the game that he is.
It's sort of like how you handle this podcast. You're always trying to kick out at 2 and doing anything dirty you can get to win to defend your ridiculous views of this ridiculous sports entertainment horse crap.
That's why I'm the champ. So
in your mind.
Flair has a book coming out with his daughter Charlotte, entitled Second Nature. It's pretty cool. I read some excerpts. It's amazing. He's also announcing he has a new management team.
Really?
So on Friday, he's announcing that.
Okay.
Which is pretty crazy.
So we don't know who it is yet.
Nope, we don't know who it is yet. Got rid of the old and coming in with the new. And he also has the ESPN 30 for 30 documentary coming out in a couple months.
They do good with those.
Yeah, they do. And this one's going to be huge. This one's going to be huge. I already expect it to do big numbers.
You know he wasn't going to go before he got his documentary.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? He's going to hang on for that.
He wanted to see it.
Got a lot of irons in the fire.
Well, he wanted to see everybody else watch it so he can, style and profile.
So he's back up on his feet.
Yes.
Probably, but still more recovery going on.
Well, I mean, the man's, a lot of his organs shut down.
That's right.
But look at him. He's back.
Right. I mean, and what's amazing is like someone like you've always had all your working organs and have done nothing with it. And here's a guy like Ric Flair who almost lost every organ, and he's up and running around. He's saying, "I'm not dead yet, mother effer."
I'm going to have Ric Flair teach me how to chop, and then I'm going to turn you into...
Listen. He's Ric Flair, but he's not God. I don't know if he could. I don't know if he could teach you anything.
He's a wrestling god.
You are a lost cause.
Yeah, well,
you're a lost cause. It's not about his ability. It's about your ability to learn. I just don't think it happens.
Anyway, Nature Boy Ric Flair, welcome back. Listen, take your time, get some rest. Got a long way to go, Nate. Do it for the Duke. It's time to run the ropes. I give my opinion on the top 5 stories in the world of professional wrestling, and by doing so, I educate this knucklehead, the Boston Bad Boy.
This whole thing about you give your opinion. Who told you that this was who told you that anyone cares what you think?
Everyone.
And 2, that you need to educate me?
Well,
please.
You don't know anything, so you need to.
I know what I need to know.
Educate.
The fact that you were a wrestling nerd, you call that education?
Yes.
That's frightening to me.
Well,
it's frightening.
You should be scared.
Yeah, I'm scared of you.
Should be scared. Total Bellas returns.
Oh, Jesus.
Look, you had a bad attitude yesterday when I announced to Duke's Wrestling crew that Total Bellas.
I believe I spoke for everybody there. Because I was the first comment, and I didn't see anyone who disagreed with me.
There was a lot of people who disagreed.
I don't think anyone else commented on it, to be honest with you.
Well, they did.
And it turns out
they liked it.
Oh, they liked it.
Yeah. So
people like stuff when they hate stuff too. You know that, right?
Whatever.
They're just clicking that they saw it. It's more like a like means, oh, I saw this, and I agree with Boston Bad Boy.
Well, you know how much people liked it?
Who cares?
Whatever.
I believe my quote was, "Who cares?"
Everyone cares. You know how much people liked it? It was the number 4 watch show in its time slot.
Oh, please.
Okay? It was, according to Nielsen.
Big Bang Theory is the number 1 show in America. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
That tells you that the bar is pretty effing low.
Well,
that's what that tells you.
Start
so
somewhere.
don't give me ratings.
I'm going to give you ratings because, listen, the only shows that beat them were Big Brother, America's Got Talent, and Hannity. They came in just behind Hannity.
Yep. That goes to show who their that shows you who the Nielsen household is in America. People who have Hannity as the number 1 guy in the time slot.
Hannity. They were turning to Total Bellas.
Yeah, someone was watching Hannity.
Yeah,
a good chunk still was watching Hannity.
That's true. Well, listen, shout out to Daniel Bryan, the Bellas.
Please,
John Cena.
Get a life, all of you. Here's my shout out.
I'm starting to
Daniel
like John
Bryan,
Cena.
don't get dropped on your head again.
Oh, stop
the twins. It's bizarre. It's creepy. Cena, all of you. Stop.
I'm going to get you some dungarees.
Yeah, exactly. Who's washing his dungarees?
Not me. Yeah. That's right. Double J, Jeff Jarrett, is out of Global Force Wrestling. Very strange stuff going on, man. Speculation is running rampant that Double J has had some family issues. Well, personal issues. Yeah. So here's a skinny. Duke's going to break down a third wall here.
Oh, here we go.
Double J.
Here it goes.
Double J's been partying a little hard out there. A little too hard.
Stop. Don't even.
And, well, this is what happens.
You're waiting. You're waiting into territory because I'm going to crush you, but go ahead.
He's been partying a little too hard. So, and this is where it gets weird. So Double J, Jeff Jarrett, he was the one who created TNA.
Okay.
Then he got Dixie Carter to be an investor. She ended up taking over the company, and he ended up getting bounced out of his own company.
Sure.
Then he got brought back, then he gets bounced out again, then he got brought back again. Then the whole Billy Corgan saga and all that stuff. Anthem Sports comes in. They purchase TNA or Impact Wrestling, whatever the hell they called it. Then they decided to bring Jeff Jarrett back. He owns a different company, Global Force Wrestling. They combine the two companies to just be Global Force Wrestling. Now, because Double J's been partying a little too hard,
get the hell out of here.
They basically told him to screw. And what happens is, because Double J owns Global Force Wrestling, he'll get to keep that. But Anthem is now trying to sell Impact.
Don't you find it a little funny that this guy has some personal problems, and they cut the leash on him. The same way a fella named
Oh, boy.
Alberto
boy.
had some personal problems and was the victim of domestic violence, and they cut the leash on him too.
Sure.
Talk about a company not caring. Here I thought Vince McMahon was the coldest man in wrestling. These people either don't know what the hell they're doing, which it seems with the whole back and forth selling this and that. Someone's trying to make a buck here.
And they're not making a buck.
No, and yeah,
They're losing
failing,
a lot of bucks. Yeah.
But it's a disaster.
It is.
It's from
It is.
beginning to end.
It gets worse. Who are they looking to sell it to? Ring of Honor,
Ugh.
Vince McMahon, or Billy Corgan.
Well, Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan's back at it.
Billy Corgan is the Hillary Clinton of professional wrestling. Please go away.
No, he's not going
They
away.
don't want. No one wants you involved.
Listen.
You're apparently not very good at it. You've got some money. I know
he
you're a
might find
super
a way.
fan. I know you're a super fan, and that's great. But you know what? Enough already. It's
No.
not. It's just not making it.
I support
They're
you,
not
Billy.
making it.
I
Yeah,
support you,
You
Billy.
support because you want to get an autograph. That's the only reason
I
you
do,
support.
actually.
Yeah,
I would
well,
love
you
to
know
have
what?
an autograph.
You should have higher standards.
Billy Corgan, I would love to have your autograph. That's right. Shane McMahon suspended from SmackDown. I don't know if you were watching last night, Boston.
What do you think?
2 nights
You think
ago.
I was watching
You should've
SmackDown?
been. You
No,
should've
I
been.
have what's called a life.
Well-
and I don't watch Shane McMahon getting suspended.
You should.
quote unquote.
You should.
Yeah, tell me
So-
what happened, please.
Kevin Owens,
I'll feign interest.
he said a couple things, and Shane McMahon didn't take too kindly to them, so he literally jumped on him and started beating on him. And he just thrashed him. He completely thrashed him.
Okay.
So the chairman of the board, Vince McMahon, he called in to Daniel Bryan and let him know to let Shane know, effective immediately, Shane is suspended indefinitely. Because you can't assault your employees. You just can't do it.
But they're employees, but they're also actors in the game. They're
Well-
also involved. They're also players.
Well, I don't know. Shane lost his mind. Beating up on people.
It's
Can't have
all
it.
right.
Can't have it.
All right. If you, for 1 minute, think that was a shoot and not part of the show, you're stupid.
Well, it was a little rough.
And wrestling's rough.
Well, sure.
All right. So don't give me this whole baloney. It's another contrived, stupid storyline.
No.
From the fever-ridden mind of Vince McMahon.
It's real. It's still real to
Get
me,
outta
damn
here.
it.
Yeah,
Okay?
it is. And you know what? You might be the only person who thinks that.
Vince McMahon returning to SmackDown. Guess what? That
Okay.
is the #1 story in the world of professional wrestling.
Can I just say? Can I steal a quote from Ric Flair here? Can I paraphrase him that this is a mother effing slow week in wrestling? If this is the #1 story, are you kidding me?
Stop it right now.
Now I'm going to fix this later in the show. I'm going to give you a real #1 show.
Give me a break.
And it's going to blow your mind.
Vince is coming back to TV. We all want to see Vince. We love Vince. So this is good stuff.
we. First of all, don't say we.
No,
What are you,
we.
French all of a sudden?
We.
No.
We,
you,
we.
You care about Vince McMahon.
Well, he's coming back.
Because they are creatively bankrupt. Say it with me. Creatively bankrupt.
Listen, Vince's going to be here in December.
And
I might bring
where's
him.
here?
I might bring him to the secret location.
Oh, please.
To once and for all.
He's not allowed in the secret location.
To once and because he's got big muscles, To once and for all, straighten you out. I think that needs to happen. Okay.
Please bring it on.
I think that needs to happen.
Bring it on.
Okay.
Because it's just between the two of you.
Yeah.
The love fest
He's
would be
my friend.
Yeah, the love fest would be so great. It wouldn't. I would just have to sit here and just stare at it.
He's my friend.
I would just be doing a color commentary on the two of you making out or whatever it is that this love fest would entail. Because it's ridiculous that you side with this guy for the most stupid reasons. They're the top dog, and they don't care anymore.
They care.
They just don't care.
Vince McMahon cares.
He cares about one thing. No, I'm sorry. He cares about two things. Number one,
The Duke?
money.
The Duke?
And number two,
The Duke?
Vince McMahon.
Well,
The Duke, never on his radar. Never even heard of the Duke.
I'm sure he listens to the show.
Never even heard of the Duke.
So when Vince comes back next week, it'll be one of the greatest moments in the history of pro wrestling.
Jesus.
That's it.
You're out of your mind. You're
it.
completely out of your mind.
You've heard what I think. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm a jerk? Maybe something in between?
All of it.
Head over to Facebook. Head over to Twitter. Type in Duke Loves Rasslin and let me know. And listen, folks, I'm telling you right now, keep an eye on that Facebook page. Constantly updating. We got the latest photos, the top stories in wrestling throughout the week.
And if you're concerned and you
Classic
think one of these
matches.
posts is stupid,
Yeah.
I will, trust me, you'll look for I'll let you know if it's stupid.
Yeah, the
because
Boston Bad
it's
Boy will
pretty
say
obvious.
something to make it
Pretty
stupid.
obvious. No,
Yeah.
because you
You
can
know?
put stuff out there and it's just like, who cares?
Whatever.
The total bellas. What are you? What are you, 15
I like that show.
years old?
I like
are you
that
reading
show.
Teen Tiger Beat 2 and
Yes.
Teen...
JTT.
Yeah, is that what you're reading? You listen to New Kids on the
Remember
Block
that? Yes.
and watching reality TV? What is wrong with you?
Stop it. I like that show.
What is wrong with you?
I like that show.
You are a grown man.
I watch E, and I don't watch it for Kylie Jenner either, so stay out of this. Up next, we're going to answer the question finally. Who the heck is Velvet Thunder?
This is former WWE superstar Al Snow and magician to the blind. You're listening to Duke Loves Rasslin.
Hey, I'm Velvet Thunder, and I'm here to take over the world of professional wrestling. And I'm going to take over. I'm going to start off with... Yeah, I'm going to start again, yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I'm Velvet Thunder, and I'm here to take over the world of professional wrestling. And the reason you should watch me on TV is because I'm the most talented, sexiest guy you'll ever see on your television. I'm the reason your girlfriend dumped you last night. So if you're wondering, that's why. So get ready, boys. Get ready for this podcast, because I'm going to blow your mind.
Wow. Look at that.
That's some Velvet Thunder coming through
I'm
here.
very upset that he's the reason why my girlfriend got rid of me. Okay.
I don't think that's the only reason, Duke, to be quite honest.
Well, Velvet said that he's the
only
reason. Yeah. Listen, Velvet, I'm going to tell you right now. Give her back. Simple as that.
No, it's mine.
So this guy. So first off, where does the name Velvet Thunder even come from?
Okay, so basically, I didn't come up with this name. It was my friends. They were high, and then they just thought that Velvet Thunder would be a really good name for me. And at first, I hated the name Velvet Thunder because I just thought it sounded really ridiculous to me. And then I started telling people my name is Velvet Thunder as a joke, and then it caught on really fast. And like, after a week or two, everyone was calling me Velvet Thunder. And then I started second-guessing myself. I was like, maybe Velvet Thunder is not such a bad name after all, because it's so memorable and just sticks with you. So that's when I decided I'm going to name myself Velvet Thunder.
Well, we started calling Duke Duke just because to make fun of him, but apparently it stuck, and he's taking it on as his own.
Don't be disrespectful.
That's what he goes by. So that's a success story to help you out there.
Don't
Velvet.
be disrespectful. Give me a break. Duke is a great name. That's right. So Velvet, tell us where in the world have you wrestled? Where are the fans that you've been setting the world on fire? I know that you've said that before. Where have you wrestled?
I've been setting the world on fire in Singapore just when I started wrestling. I started training a year and a half ago, and I made my debut about 8 or 9 months ago, and I've only done about 3 shows in Singapore so far. But I have moved to Philadelphia, and I'll be pursuing wrestling in the States because it's much bigger here, and I'll be heading down to school next week. It's going to be like a 2-hour drive, but I'll do it. I'll do it for professional wrestling.
Well, it's a much easier commute than from Singapore, I would assume.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Unless you're going to take the Velvet Thunder helicopter or something. I don't know.
I've got my own jet plane, but
that's a whole other
a lot
story.
of fuel, I'm going green.
So tell us about this. So you started off in Singapore. You've had some shows out there, and I know that the crowds, especially out there, the fans are really hungry for some wrestling.
Yeah.
But you're going to move here to the United States and practice and train in Philly. Why Philly of all places?
Because I am planning to go to the Ring of Honor dojo. If I want to take this seriously, I might as well just aim high. So I aim the highest possible in terms of independent wrestling. Because Ring of Honor is one of the biggest independent wrestling promotions around now. So if I can make it there, then I'll be set pretty much. That was my mindset.
Wow, that's pretty lofty goals there. Who are some of your influences in wrestling? Who are some of the people that you look up to and that you model yourself after?
So the reason I started wrestling was because of Seth Rollins. We don't have the same style, but when he was playing his heel character, I just saw a lot of myself in him because we're the same size, we're the same height, and I feel like we both started out the same position. I know there are a lot of independent wrestlers that made it to Singapore, but when I was watching it, I didn't know that. I was just a casual fan. And I just knew that Seth Rollins, when he started out wrestling, he was once nobody. And then he built his name and made it all the way to the WWE. So I've just found that really inspirational. And then when he finally won the title, I was like, well, if he can do it, then why can't I? and then that's when I decided I'm going to pursue professional wrestling.
So I got a question for you. You grew up in Singapore, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's it like to be a fan of professional wrestling in another country? We talk to people from around, and it's always interesting to find out what it's like, because we know what it's like in America, but what's it like? You know, how does it translate there? What are the fans like? Is it similar? Is it different?
Okay, the professional wrestling is definitely like a lot bigger here, and I feel like people here do respect professional wrestling more than they do in Singapore. But the Singapore crowd's great, man. They're really easy to work. You could just go in the ring, give a shoulder block, and they'll just eat it up. Plus, they really like the comedy stuff.
Sure.
So, yeah. It's going to make them laugh, I guess.
Well, it's interesting because I feel like there's less comedy in American professional wrestling. I mean, there are some comic elements, but it's more about the reality TV drama, which I happen to hate. But I think it's interesting that different countries look for different things out of it.
You know, we should send the Boston Bad Boy to Singapore since he wants more comedy in his life.
I don't know if I do well there.
Yeah.
Velvet Thunder will get you booked.
See that? Velvet Thunder will get you booked.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
So, Velvet, tell us something here, because I Singapore, known for the delicious cuisine out there.
Yeah, it's really good.
And you're a guy that's in some great shape there. What is your meal plan? What's your diet there? How do you keep yourself in such great shape?
Okay, it was a lot easier for me in Singapore. Now that I'm in college, the college food is so shit. So I really have to be picky. I'm eating egg whites every day, 3 times a day, and I'm getting really sick of it. So I just ordered like a tub of protein, and I'm going to be feasting on that.
That sounds delicious.
Yes.
Boy,
yeah,
coming to America really is a beautiful thing, isn't
That's
it?
right.
You come to America, there's shit to eat, and I'm just going to sit and eat a tub of protein. That's what it comes to. It's the American dream.
Try a Philly cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak. Okay.
Yeah, you got to have that at least once a week, I would think.
Now, so wait, Velvet, are you related to Arnold Schwarzenegger? Because I'm telling you right now, bro, I got some Terminator
he's my
vibes.
brother.
That's what it is.
Yeah, he was known as the Velvet Sauerkraut,
That's
wasn't he?
right.
I believe that was
Yeah,
his name
that's
in
exactly
Germany
it.
before he came to
He
America.
copied me. I made it up for him.
Yeah.
So, Velvet, have you had any wrestlers in the business who have given you a hard time? Because, the big story out there is what that no-good sexy star did to Rosemary, where allegedly she shot on her and ended up partially tearing something in Rosemary's arm. Have you experienced anything like that as a young guy in the business? Has anyone ever tried to beat you up for real?
No, I have not. I have tried to beat other people up, though.
Oh, tell us about that. Who'd you try to beat up and why?
Well, basically, he just made fun of my name, so I just whacked him across the face.
See that?
Wow.
Can I get you to come here?
Oh, please.
To whack the Boston Bad Boy across the face, because I'm telling you right now, he makes fun of things all the time, and I can't stand it, especially when he makes fun of my friend Vince McMahon. That's when he crosses the line.
Your friend?
That's right.
No, it's his imaginary friend.
Stay out of this.
You know when you're a kid and you have an imaginary friend? That's what Duke's whole life is. He imagines he has friends.
I still have them.
Yeah, well, all right. So, well, you guys are going to get along great then. You guys are going to. I'm going to sanction a match between the two of you.
There it is.
And then I can watch the bloodbath happen.
listen.
I'm all down for that.
Velvet Thunder will probably beat me. Velvet, if fans want to get in touch with you, what's the easiest way they can reach you?
Yeah, so basically my main social media is Instagram, so you can follow me at Velvet Thunder Pro. And my Twitter is Velvet Thunder SG. Also, I'm sponsored by Collar and Elbow, so make sure you use VT10 when purchasing from collarandelbowbrand.com to get 10% off on sexiness.
10% off sexiness.
Did you hear this?
Wow, I've been looking for a deal on sexiness. That's good. I'm glad that our friends over at Collar and Elbow hooked that up.
Shout out to Al Snow. He's a close friend of the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. That's pretty cool that you're a sponsored athlete. Wow.
So before we let you go, I got to ask you something. Are you familiar with the term the Velvet Fog?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so back in the day, there was an American singer named Mel Torme. He was like a Frank Sinatra type. And he was a real laid-back guy, and his nickname was the Velvet Fog.
You gotta be kidding me right now.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. I think you should listen to some of the Velvet Fog, and this is a great song, by the way. This is our commentary on this song, so that we can legally play it on this podcast. I think it's a great song. The production's wonderful. Sure. And it was one of the big hits of 1950 whatever. But I want to say, Velvet, that if you listen to Mel Torme, you talk sexiness, you're going to be right in the right vibe, I think.
Hey, I'll make that my theme song. That's fitting.
I love it.
See that?
I love it.
With a collar and elbow shirt.
A revival with Mel Torme's face on it.
Unbelievable.
Brilliant. I'm in. I'm all in.
Velvet Thunder, listen, you keep the Boston Bad Boy and the Duke apprised of whatever you have going on there. You know, we'll let the fans know, continue to support you, especially because you are a collar and elbow sponsored athlete. So, you know, hey, those are our buddies there. But listen, Velvet, seriously, though, watch your back. Okay? Boy. I'm just gonna tell you that right now.
Don't worry about it, Velvet. I'm going to tell you, don't worry about Duke because he has imaginary feuds with imaginary friends of his. So you're fine.
I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
He stole my girlfriend,
He's somebody
so I'm not
else.
happy with him anymore.
Look, Duke, one more person who isn't worried about you and things that you can do. The list keeps growing.
Velvet Thunder, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me on.
I don't know. I got no words, man.
Well, I mean, you already invited him up here to have a match of some sort. I don't know. So,
and you know, it's interesting. He claims that he stole everyone's girlfriend last night.
Well, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, the promo he did at the beginning of the,
it was
the
awesome.
interview. Yeah, but it got me thinking about something else, and I think he might have copied that from somebody. Yeah, I think he might have plagiarized that from somebody very famous.
Like who?
Like your friend and mine, Tiger Woods.
Hey, it's Tiger. I need you to do me a huge favor. Can you please...
Is that not the same?
It's the same thing.
Take your name off your phone. My wife went through my phone.
And the Velvet Fog, I mean, the Velvet Thunder, is saying he's stealing people's girlfriends. He might end up leaving one of these messages.
I'm telling you.
I mean,
it's serious business.
I think the whole bit is Tiger Woods. If I was a wrestler, my whole bit would be
Tiger Woods.
The Tiger Woods bit. I'm the disgraced golfer.
Take your name off.
Take your name off your own voicemail.
That's right.
Take your name off.
Because she's going to be calling. Hey, you got to do this for me.
What balls, Tiger Woods? Talk about a guy living in his own world.
But the way he says it, you got to do this for me.
You got to do this for me.
Yeah.
Like she owes him a effing thing.
She does. It's Tiger. Kidding me?
Boy, you think she made any money off him?
Couple bucks.
Yeah, I have to think so.
Couple
but
bucks.
I mean, at the rate he was going,
yeah,
he's like he didn't go broke.
Well,
anything with a pulse, he was after.
He made a lot of money in his life, so thank God for that.
Well, here's the thing: it's a chicken and the egg. If a guy didn't have that kind of money and access to such beautiful women, can he live that lifestyle?
I don't know.
Like if he's
golfers.
an average Joe,
yeah,
like you and me,
sure,
we're not millionaire. You know, we have to go to work every day.
Yeah,
you can't be running that kind of operation.
No, I can't imagine that. Well, how could you?
Well, that's the thing. You don't get to the point of leaving this insane voicemail unless you're wealthy and crazy.
A number.
Just have it as a number.
No, just have it as your telephone number.
But it's fascinating because
Hey, it's Tiger.
First of all, he couldn't even remember his own name. He was so nervous
because he knew his wife was wandering around the house with a 9-iron.
Yeah, could you
looking
imagine?
For him. He's probably
under the bed.
He's under the bed. Hey, I can't.
It's Tiger.
It's Tiger.
Yeah, it's like Taken.
Yeah.
It's like Taken. Like Liam Neeson has to go find him because he got stolen.
Poor guy.
Wow, boy, and look at that, and just like that, golfing ability aside, Tiger's
down a drink.
Pariah.
Yep. Down
pariah.
Yep.
Of all the sports, now if he was an NFL player. I think it would have added credibility to his.
Sure.
Well, not credibility, but fame. It would have added a layer of something to him. So golf is apparently.
Does Tiger do a dating show now?
Boy, wouldn't that be? He's got no personality. That's the problem. He's got no personality.
Dude, I would watch him just to not have a personality.
Well, you'd watch him in every every episode, I think, of the show should start with.
That's the name of the show.
Hey, it's
Tiger.
No, hey, it's Tiger.
Tiger,
hey.
yeah. That's it. Tiger Woods. You're gonna have to give us a piece of that action, brother. All right,
yeah,
we just set you up with a new reality show.
Last time he was getting some action, he lost a couple of teeth.
That's
didn't
a good point. Yeah, that's true.
Boy, and that his wife, now ex-wife, right? And and she cashed out with a nice little pretty penny.
I think she either married or she's engaged to one of his friends.
Well, there you go.
See that?
Boom. Look at that! Someone just jumped the line on him.
Jumped right in. Boom.
I can't say I wouldn't do the same.
And what was she doing before she married him? She was a nanny.
Well, here's the thing. One of your friends, you screw up. Your woman hits you with a golf club.
Yep.
She leaves you.
Yep.
Then one of your friends just jumps in and spends your money.
That's it. Can you imagine?
That's me. That's me. If I did that to you, I'm spending your money.
But was the friend...
And I'm hanging out with your kids.
Was he always making moves on that lady the whole time?
Oh, of course. You'd have to. You'd have to have that radar on.
Of course.
To make the connection so quickly and to move right in. Because in order to get there, if you're a known quantity, he's a friend that they both knew.
Yep.
In order for him to get that close and not get flushed out with him, The
There's gotta be some
groundwork.
trust
The
there,
groundwork
yeah.
was laid. The
Yeah.
shoulder was cried upon.
Absolutely.
Many times.
So Tiger, in a sense, is a victim there.
Well, he's a victim, but he's a victim of the world he created. I mean,
True.
He was
True.
doing the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although he wasn't. I don't think he wasn't letting anyone cry on his shoulder. He was just going right for the business.
He was
saying, "I'm Tiger." He says, "Hey,
Tiger.
it's Tiger,"
Yeah,
and then it would drop his
and then
pants.
You got to do this for him.
What was the thing they had out in Las Vegas? It was like a golfer's, like it was like a mansion or something they had. Do you remember this part of the story?
Oh yeah.
There's like, so I don't know if it's owned by the PGA or whatever, but it's a.
It was a place that he could enjoy.
Well, it's a
himself.
place that it was like a clubhouse for
exclusive, yes.
just for the guys on tour who would stop through.
Sure.
And it was like the Playboy Mansion,
Yep.
apparently.
Yep.
And they could just do what
And you
they
know what
wanted.
the best part about that place was? No one knew about it.
No one knew about it.
That was the best
right,
part.
It wasn't the Playboy Mansion
Yes.
because it wasn't famous.
They weren't trying to promote it.
And why weren't they trying to promote it? Because well,
hey, it's Tiger.
Because
That's why.
You think they have a room with his name on it?
Yeah, of course. They have a whole suite.
Yeah.
Whole suite.
You walk in there, it's like eyes wide shut.
That's right.
But with the golf hat with the pom pom on
Yep.
the top.
Yep.
Oh my God! What a
Yeah.
life! What a life!
what
But
the-
it goes to show, like with any professional sports, how old's Tiger Woods? He's still kind of a youngish
he's
guy,
maybe 40 at this point.
right? So let's go 10. That's not 10 years ago that happened, but getting
Yeah,
there.
about that.
He's in his 30s, late 20s. He's a professional. He's top of the game. The world loves him. America's darling. A wonderkind. Why the F are you getting married?
Yeah,
If you're a baseball player,
this is a thing you keep bringing up. You know?
well, but it's a truism, and my point is, you're not ready for it because you're involved in a lifestyle that takes your entire focus.
Sure.
If you're going to be a pro
You
athlete,
have to be obsessed with what you're doing in order to
and
be
then when
that-
you are not obsessing about that,
Yep.
you are not a real person. You're going to do stupid things because you don't know how to live in the real world because you're living in this channel.
But is that an excuse? Come on.
No, it's not an excuse. People should just know better. Like someone should have said to him, and someone should say to all these baseball players, whatever, football players who are in their 19s.
I know.
And they get married at 20 because they want to, it's the all-American thing, and they're a football player, and they get the kids, and then they end up doing whatever they're doing because they're traveling and everything. And it's that atmosphere of just whatever. But there should be someone giving them a life lesson, going, "Hey, you know what? Take it. Enjoy."
Who are you going to listen to when you're worth all that money?
If someone comes to
There's
me and
no
says,
one
"If
you
someone
can
comes
listen
to
to.
me and says you're worth all this money,
Yeah.
you're 21 years old.
You're not going to listen to them.
You're 21 years old. You can go to the Playboy Mansion every weekend, or not, or go row a boat around a pond, and no one's going to bother you. Enjoy that for a couple of years. Just give me a couple of years. That's all I'm talking about.
That's easier.
I think
easier said than done.
People are getting into it before they realize the power of their wealth and the power of their fame.
Who would ever realize the power of their wealth?
Well, Tiger realized it. At some point, Tiger realized it, and then he started effing around on his wife because he was too
I don't
big.
think he was effing around his wife. I think he was effing around, then he got married, and he was still effing around.
No, well, but that's what I'm saying.
It wasn't like he got married and then started effing around. The guy never stopped effing around.
All right.
You know?
I'll give you right, but that's the thing. Why are you pulling in the marriage quotient?
Well, because you want kids and you want to have that. Listen, when you got
Then
that
make a
kind of
deal.
money,
Then make a
yeah,
deal.
make a deal. That's now you're speaking my language.
Make a deal.
Make a deal.
Say, listen.
That's it.
And you know what? Whether or not I don't give. It doesn't matter.
Please.
If you meet somebody, say, listen, this is the lifestyle I live.
Yep. You're in your.
He's at fault for not saying that. Like, I'm a golfer. I'm all around. I'm always traveling. I have an eye for pretty things. This is what I like to do. Now, if you'd like to, I'd like to have kids and a family and a thing, and I'll be there too. But this is how it's going to work. If you go into it open, give the other person a chance.
Well, I think that you're assuming that people want that.
What do you mean?
How many people are really going to live like that for the rest of their lives?
Nobody.
I'm talking about the other part.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody's going to do that.
So then,
nobody's going to do that. But then Tiger Woods is he's an educated guy.
Tiger Woods has enough money that he could make this mistake and still be fine.
Tiger Woods has enough money that he could just get a surrogate like Michael Jackson did and have kids and not worry about it.
Sure.
And then can you live his life as a bachelor dad?
But I don't think
why. It's a brilliant idea. He has the means.
The man has the money that he can make a mistake like that and still live a great life.
Well, that's the truly unfortunate part, right?
So,
there's no lesson learned
no,
there.
there's no lesson learned,
at
man.
all,
Please.
ever. No.
You know, the lesson learned is that be like Tiger Woods. What do you,
right. The lesson is have a lot of money, and just still do whatever you want.
Do whatever the hell you want.
Because now there's even less consequence.
That's
for you.
right. That's right. See, speaking of consequences, how about this hurricane, man?
Oh, man. Yeah. So I have family down in Florida.
Oh.
And I was talking to my uncle who works for the Miami-Dade Police Department. And he works for their operations component. He says, I'm a first responder. And I didn't want to bust his chops because he's not a policeman. You know, he's not. He's in the business of.
But first responders are not.
But he's
just
in the
policemen.
office. He's in the office.
Well,
he's in the office.
Well,
I don't know. What's the jurisdiction? I assume first responders are the guys who respond.
No, not necessarily, because if you call 911,
yes,
or if there is a 911 dispatches
operator,
yes, they're all part of the same.
They're a first responder
because you got to stay on the phone with them.
Okay, I get. So and there's a training that goes along with that. That's
they're
fine.
saving your life.
I don't think he's doing that. He's just doing some sort of administrative whatever.
Listen, Boston Bad Boys, Uncle, I'm not going to disrespect you like that. This guy, he puts you on in front of the world just to tear you down. I'm not
naming names. I got a lot of uncles.
You're the greatest first responder going right now. I'm not going to play this game with you.
Well, when he started this whole first responder thing, because he lives in Florida, I call him Tubbs. Like from Miami Vice.
Unbelievable.
I ask him if he's wearing his, he's driving his Ferrari, his Lamborghini, and he's got his suit jacket rolled up,
Chips.
and right. And so it's like So, but he's staying down there. So he's in the bunker.
He's working.
He's working, and then he says, "Oh, your aunt and the kids are going to Kentucky." And I said, "Listen, isn't that a little bit of overkill? Kentucky's a long ride." He said, "Well,
they're going to be safe.
I guess my aunt's brother lives in Kentucky, so they're." Because in case they have to stay for an extended period of time, they'll be comfortable. They're not whatever. So, and then my other buddy lives in Orlando. He said apparently not worried about it. He took the pool toys in.
They're pretty far away.
They're pretty far away, but not really. This storm, the last I looked, was wider than the state of Florida is.
But it's going to hit the tip and then curve.
Well, they think.
I
mean, who knows?
Yeah,
who knows? So so that's a shout out to my uncle first responder. I'll give him the first. I don't know. I don't know exactly what he does. At one point, I think he was doing some sort of CSI thing. So I thought he was like the guy from CSI Miami. I sent him a pair of sunglasses because you have to take the sunglasses off and put them back on.
I know exactly what he's doing.
That's right. I'm glad somebody
does. I know more
does.
than you do. I know exactly.
I'm glad
what he's
somebody
doing.
does.
That's right. He's saving the world. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Listen, look, I got a couple of good friends out there, aunts and his family there. I got Big Danny W there and his family. Hey, everybody knows somebody in Florida.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's the one place everybody knows somebody, and probably in America people have been. Is it the most visited state? I bet it is.
Big Time Friedman? Huh? Big Time Friedman? I know all the guys down there.
Dropping names dropping names, raindrops from a hurricane.
I'm telling you.
But and then right behind this hurricane, we've got another one cooking potentially.
Yep.
Juan.
Well, it's Juan?
Juan.
That's Juan.
Juan.
Oh, okay.
Hurricane Juan.
Juan.
But the best meme I saw was, well, thank God the next hurricane is named Juan. Trump won't let him into the country.
Wow. that you know what? I got nothing to add to that one, except to everyone affected by hurricane season, because obviously this is not ending anytime soon. Yeah. Be safe. Don't be foolish.
Yeah. When they evacuate, just get out.
Just get out.
I'm gonna write it out.
Yeah.
No need, because you're putting first responders in danger.
As when the WWF changed to WWE, their slogan was "Get the F out." So please, just get the F out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
right.
Just
do it and get the heck out of there.
Boom.
What's up, guys? This is Babam from the You Should Play This podcast, and you are listening to Duke Loves Rasslin, but you're not listening to him play any good video games. Pro wrestling, give me a break.
All right. Segment 3 of the show. Always my favorite time of the show. You know that?
My Buddha.
And not only because we're almost done. It's a long day with you, but it's my favorite part because we get to talk about real things.
Well, look, you've been dragging this thing along here, okay? You've been teasing that you got this
not teasing.
Thing that's going to piss me off, okay.
Yeah, well
I'm going to promise the fans right now, no matter what the Boston Bad Boy says to me, I'm not going to get pissed off.
Well,
okay? How about that?
If you made that promise and you lost that promise and lost the bet on that, you wouldn't be wearing clothes right now. You'd be so broke. Because you're easily flustered when it comes to your buddy Vince McMahon and his overarching control of WWE.
How would I know he'd be talking about my friend?
Well, because you know what? I dislike him so. And I just think that he's off base on quite a lot of things. And that's why we're skipping our usual either listener questions, which, by the way, I have to say, listeners, subpar, folks. And also voicemails subpar.
Stop it.
So if you want to be on this show,
Stop it.
like I tell Duke, if you want to be on this show, you better start bring it up.
Like you tell Duke.
That's right.
The name of the show is Duke Loves Rasslin. Like you tell. Wait, I'm not going to get pissed off.
That don't confront me.
I'm not going to get pissed off.
That don't confront me, as they say in music.
Is that what they say?
As they say in music. That don't confront me.
Wow.
So we're just going to talk about something that's important, I think.
Oh boy.
And touches on the broader
Let me
picture.
get my finger on the delete.
Yeah, you better get your
button
finger
real
out of
quick
something
here.
else.
Yeah.
So.
Jesus.
I think our good friends over at the WWE have gotten themselves into a colossal pickle.
Oh boy.
Because I want to start off though to get everyone up to speed. I want you to do it. Okay, your name's on the show. You do it. I want you to tell everybody about the concussion lawsuit that's been going on. Because I know a lot of media outlets don't want to talk about this. And I know maybe a lot of fans who may be casual fans aren't quite aware about what's going on involving the WWE and a group of wrestlers and a class action lawsuit involving injuries resulting in concussions.
Yeah, I mean that's the reality of the situation. There are a ton, I mean literally hundreds of WWE, former WWE, WCW, NWA, ECW, all the properties that the WWE owns. Mm-hmm. Former wrestlers.
Oh, and have owned.
And have owned. Former wrestlers who have wrestled in those organizations and who have had issues, with concussions. And
they have had long-term issues well after they retired from the sport.
Yes. They are band together in a class action lawsuit against the WWE, and they have some concerns and demands.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. This thing has gotten to the point where a judge has told both parties, the WWE and their legal representation, and the folks part of the class action lawsuit and their legal representation, figure it out, come to some kind of settlement, just do that. Don't make me rule on this.
Right. So that's this judge recently comes to this conclusion.
This judge recently.
Yet the WWE keeps trying to get this, and they have been trying to get this thing thrown out. And they don't want to. Their whole thing is they don't think, their official word is that CTE doesn't exist potentially, and certainly doesn't affect wrestlers.
Well, they feel it needs to be studied a little more.
Now, CTE, I'm no doctor. I only play one on TV. But CTE is chronic traumatic encephalopathy. It's a degenerative disease. And it's found in people who have suffered repeated blows to the head.
It's a disease that affects the brain and literally turns your brain into mush because of constant trauma over a period of time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
exactly. So it is a cumulative disease. Now, those of you who may not know about this with WWE certainly have heard about it with the NFL, because the NFL is in a similar position now with modern research showing horrifying effects from collateral damage and exponential damage as you get hit in the head over and over and over again as you're part of your profession.
Yeah, they've had to change the way that folks tackle in the game as a result of that. It's true.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're looking at new equipment and this and that because it becomes a problem, because we're dealing with the NFL certainly and wrestling absolutely, two sports where you're liable to end up on your head a lot of the time.
Sure.
It's not even an accident. It's part of the game.
Just be careful where you're going with this.
Well, I'm not going to be careful with this because we're talking about people who worked, and especially guys back in the day. And we always talk about the jobbers. These guys who went out there and worked for the guy, they weren't the flashy guys. They weren't the biggest guys in the world. They took the bumps to make the other guys look good. And then they were handed nothing, A. They didn't like they got a pension out of it. And now they've got this disease that they're facing.
Well, see, this is what I'm talking about right now.
They got this disease that they're facing.
Don't say that they have this disease.
They have this disease that they're facing.
All right.
In some form or another, they're dealing with the results of many concussions and bodily injury to the head, okay? Or else they wouldn't be in this lawsuit. Because who's going to put themselves through the wheels of justice if they don't have to, okay? So they're dealing with this. And they are the guys who worked. They are the men and women who worked. And so we've talked to a lot of these people who have been in wrestling from way back, to people who are new wrestlers, young guys who are getting injured, who aren't even professional yet. So this is happening whether or not, like climate change, this is happening whether or not certain people want to admit that it's happening. Okay? So, because we know a lot of people, and we look around, I do. I don't know about you, but I keep my thumb on, I keep my finger on the pulse.
A lot of people know me. Okay.
A lot of people wish they didn't know you. So I was on, because I was looking at some stuff that you were talking about, and there's a website, and the website is called WWE Concussion Lawsuit News. And this is an official website of the attorneys representing the class action lawsuit. Okay? Now, apparently, this is a thing that no one really wants to talk about this, but this is important because news gets put there, and just a couple of days ago, it gets put out something very, very interesting, which I think is a turning point here. And I don't know if people are afraid of Vince McMahon. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. But it's important. We're talking about people's lives here. Actual lives. I don't care about money. I don't care about your stupid company. People's lives. People worked and struggled and they did the road show. They did it. So on this website, WWE Concussion Lawsuit News, there was an update. And so, a couple of weeks ago, a study came out that said that like 99% of football players had CTE. This is where it goes back to the NFL. Big study came out that they had been working on because, again, it's big news in the NFL. And so the study comes out, and it was something like, and I may be a little off here, but like 99% of professional football players suffer from CTE, this long-term disease. So, where do a lot of wrestlers start? What do they do before they're wrestlers? We've talked to a lot of people, and I put two and two together. I'm sure you have, even though you're probably not going to admit this because this is not looking good for your side. But what I'm going to say is a lot of them were football players. College, high school, college, semi-pro, different leagues that existed even back in the day. Physical games. And then they went on to become wrestlers. Incredibly physical. So the study comes out and says that 99% of football players, 99% have CTE. Yet, the WWE wants to go on talking about how, CTE might not even exist, and certainly not for wrestlers, which makes no sense, because a sizable number of their roster already were football players. So you can't have it both ways. On top of that, and you're oddly silent, and I can see by the look on your face, you know I'm right, it comes out that allegedly money from the WWE went to fund the study that came up with the conclusion that 99% of football players have CTE. So explain this to me. If you're Duke and you're a guy who doesn't believe in climate change, are you going to fund a study that looks into climate change to give hard numbers that could prove you and put your entire business model into jeopardy?
Well, maybe that's the integrity of the WWE.
Oh, they
put the money in.
Get out of here.
They wanted to, get
out of
to
here.
the bottom of this thing because they want to do right by the wrestlers.
If they want to do right by the wrestlers, why are they not just working it out in court with them? Why are they trying to dismiss all of these claims? Why are they not trying to settle, as the judge said, settle with these people? These people have medical issues. These people have memory issues. These people have problems living their life after they worked for you because potentially, no one really understood concussions to the way they do now. This is very recently that money's been put into this thing. And science is now understanding that there's a cumulative disease. So, people went into this not knowing. Back in the day, I can see the company didn't know necessarily. But now we know. So now we know. Now we've got to make people whole. And now especially we've got to move forward with protections.
I just think that you're really embellishing on a couple things here. Here's what we got to understand, okay? Just because somebody sues you, it doesn't mean they're right.
Of course not.
All right? And
when 100 people sue you for the exact same reason, and science says that 99% of people in a related sport or / entertainment are suffering from the same thing for a less physical sport, and then you go and fund the study to see what the real truth is, hoping you're going to find something that you can weasel your way out of later on? Is that what this is about?
Why should the WWE be punished for what the NFL or other football leagues, high school, college, you name it, why should they be punished for that? Huh?
Why
name one wrestler who's been studied and they found CTE in his brain. Okay?
Name one wrestler
name
they've
one.
studied?
Name one.
Well,
Hasn't happened.
it's funny. It hasn't happened.
So guess what?
Why hasn't that happened?
You tell me. What do you mean?
No, you're
What?
the wrestling nerd. You
What?
tell me why have we magically? What kind of? All right, let's see. There's football, heavy duty contact sport, boxing, which they've studied CTE, and several boxers. Look at Muhammad Ali. That didn't happen just by accident. That wasn't bad genetics. That's what happened from his career. So, all right, we know what happens in football. We know what happens in boxing. Gee, I'm a scientist. What else could I look at? What else is a sport where guys get dropped on their heads on a regular basis?
Well, people are not dropping people on their heads because they want.
Are you kidding me?
That doesn't happen on purpose.
A guy was got crippled a couple of weeks ago because of a bad move.
Well, he wasn't even a real wrestler. Give me a break.
It doesn't matter. He got dropped on his head working on a sanctioned fight for the WWE. So my point is, if these guys, they're playing both sides of the coin here. They fund a study. Again, I don't know how much exactly of this is and how much money and who did what and where it came in and who was involved. But it's looking like, potentially, that the WWE was involved with this study. They knew about it.
They wanted to get to the bottom of the truth. What's wrong with that?
All right, and guess what the truth said about the NFL?
Okay.
99%. All right, let's say that the truth finds out that 4% of wrestlers, let's just say a new study happens, and 4% of wrestlers have CTE. Take care of those people. It's absolutely ridiculous, because if you deny this, like the NFL they don't know what to do with this. They're not going to know what to do with this information because that puts their bottom line in jeopardy. And here's the thing. This is not a game where you're going to talk about the bottom line. This has to be taken care of correctly. So if it's true that the WWE is involved with these CTE studies, or this one in particular, if it's true, then they can no longer deny that it's a thing. They can no longer deny that it's just a class action lawsuit by disgruntled employees or whatever their line is. I don't even know what their line is, but I'm guessing it's along that line because they're trying to dismiss this. They're not taking a judge's advice to settle this out. A judge is not going to tell them to settle if it's cockamamie. A judge doesn't care. So what are you going to do here? You can't just stalemate it. They're losing. They're starting to slide. And if they want to save face, if they want to do the right thing, if they want to have a business at the end of this, they're going to have to choose. They're going to, just like the NFL has to choose. Are you going to put on your big boy pants and say, you know what? Boy, a lot of our guys got dropped on their heads. A lot of our guys had this injury. We didn't know about it back then, but science tells us now it exists. We got to do the right thing here. We got to figure it out. We got to make these people whole. Now, it's the nature of the business. It's a rough business. It's a physical, violent sport. Guys go out there to make money, men and women, and get dropped on their head. They signed up for it. They went into it knowing that it's dangerous. However, that's like finding out that the ink used in a wrestling mat causes cancer, but we're going to keep using the mat. We're going to keep using the mat because that's what we've always done.
Being ridiculous.
That's what we've always done. We're going to keep using the mat. And you know what? If you think anything else other than that,
stupid idiot.
Okay, you're a stupid idiot.
I'm going to say this.
And that's wait a minute. No, that's Senator John McCain.
I don't care about what John McCain is saying right now.
Let's not forget what happened with football, with baseball. The United States government, the federal government, got involved.
Don't start that.
The federal government got involved.
Don't even do that
because the Major League Baseball was being negligent to the point of promoting the use of drugs to its audience.
Stop it right now. All right.
So here's the question. Who's been trying to get their meat hooks into professional wrestling for years? Who? Who had to go before Congress and testify? Vince McMahon. Congress has been after professional wrestling for years. So you're going to stalemate? You're going to stalemate these people who worked for you? And you're going to get to the point where they're going to go, because this is not going away. They're not going to go away. They have no reason to. Take it to Congress. Open up a congressional investigation.
No, don't do that.
Because
and I'm employing the WWE
you know
Hall of Famer Donald Trump. Make sure that doesn't happen. This guy's out of his mind.
Yeah,
right
he's
going
to be out of his
stuff
office.
He's talking about right now. Really bad stuff.
Why do we have OSHA? Why do we have?
Are you trying to kill the business? Is that what you're trying to do? Because that's what's going to happen if people keep taking this line.
You know when it's going to happen? Do you know when it's going to happen? If the leadership of the WWE and them as a company refuse to acknowledge reality. That's going to be the end of the business. And it's going to be the end of the business for the NFL if they do the same thing. They can no longer pretend that people are being turned into vegetables because of what the profession they're involved in, and not take action to say, here's the people who were, now we understand this. So going forward, we're going to put these measures in place to reduce the risk. We're going in eyes open. We cannot stick our heads in the sand. And we can no longer also play both sides of the coin here. We can no longer tell you you're crazy and CTE doesn't exist, yet we're going to fund studies to make sure CTE doesn't exist. Well, it turns out it bit him in the ass, because the study comes back and says 99% of players in a related sport have this disease.
Here's what I'll say, all right?
Yeah, what you're going to say is completely crazy.
I got an invitation, all right? I'm putting this out there. Representatives of the WWE and their legal team, you're more than welcome to come on the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast, and you can let the fans know, let the world know.
Fine.
What your position is on this deal here, and why the WWE feels that the lawsuit should just be thrown out completely.
Right, because their line is throw it out completely.
Throw it out completely. It's frivolous. We don't believe that this should even move forward.
Again, right. So if they want to come on this show,
sure,
and deny science,
well,
please
stop it. Stop.
Absolutely.
We will give them an open forum that they can come in and they can express themselves. And the same goes for the representatives of any of the wrestlers part of the class action lawsuit. You're more than welcome to come on Duke Loves Rasslin. Let us know why you feel this lawsuit has merit.
It's funny. I didn't even want to bring it up, but we talked about Baron Corbin a couple of weeks ago, and the money in the case.
Money in the bank.
Money in the bank.
Briefcase,
briefcase bit. So he gets the briefcase. Quick recap: he gets the briefcase, and usually the contract. And so usually they hold on to that for an opportune moment, and they play it, whatever. But within a couple of weeks, he's cashed in his contract. He didn't leverage it at all. So word is getting around that apparently, allegedly, I'll say, there was a kerfuffle that happened during a meeting of the minds at the WWE. And apparently what happened is there was a meeting with all the talent and the brass and a doctor or a researcher who came in to give them a pep talk of some sort and to downplay the effects of CTE or whether it exists or whatever. So it's coming out that allegedly in this alleged meeting, Baron Corbin stood up and called the guy out in front of everybody and laid into him, telling him that his science was bunk and blah, 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 blah. Now, all this happened right after he got that contract. Right after that match happened, they have their meeting. He's fed up. What the WWE didn't realize, whatever their problem is that Baron Corbin, if I'm not mistaken, was a football player before he became a wrestler.
True.
So, he's no dummy. And if 99% of football players have CTE, he's sitting in a room with a guy trying to sell him snake oil that it doesn't exist. So he's got major balls to stand up and do that, and I'm going to give him that credit. But look what happens. Look what happens right after that. He's written out of the script. He's written out of the script. He's got to give in his contract. And I don't know. Is that kayfabe? Is that real? I don't know.
Yeah, come on. Listen, people win and lose all the time.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
Break, okay?
Timing is everything, and optics is everything. You don't fire the guy investigating you for ties to Russia because it looks pretty bad. Didn't we learn that? You don't fire the FBI investigator. How is this any different?
He's not fired. He has a job.
He has a job.
He still wrestles.
Yeah, still wrestles, but he's not the guy with the briefcase.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
He's not the
so
guy
it's a little
with the
bit different.
Yeah.
When you're the guy with the briefcase, you get a little bit more pull. So what happens? Oh, the writers just happen to decide we're going to do something we've never done before and make you cash it in 3 weeks or whatever it was later. Absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. So more needs to come out about that, and that's just scuttlebutt coming down the wire. But I can see that happening. You can see where it fits together. Why would somebody make that up? And it'll have to come out that there's more people talking about it, because if there's a huge group of wrestlers there and all these other people who are involved in this back behind the scenes meeting, it probably happened. I don't know that it did. I don't know for sure. This is just what we're hearing.
I just think that you're getting some kind of enjoyment over here of anything that even remotely is against the WWE.
No, I don't even care. But you know what? For once, this isn't about Vince McMahon.
No.
This is about people.
The WWE are good custodians of the wrestling business.
Are you out of your mind?
When we talk about the history of the wrestling business.
Oh, God.
They're it.
Oh, great. Yeah, they have a website where they put up old matches. Meanwhile, all those people in those old matches can't even, they're eating applesauce, and they can't remember to put their car keys because the WWE wants to say CTE doesn't exist.
Stop.
They're like people who are going to be sitting in 6 feet of water in Miami saying, well, the climate isn't changing. The ocean isn't 7 degrees warmer than it should be.
Your attitude stinks.
It doesn't stink. The problem is, it's a real issue. This is not wrestling. This is bigger than wrestling.
What are you going to do if the lawsuit gets thrown out? Are you going to rescind all this nonsense?
The lawsuit isn't going to get thrown out. The judge would have thrown it out already.
All right, well,
this has been going on for a long time.
Maybe new evidence will make them throw it out.
What, the new evidence the new evidence that's coming to light that the WWE allegedly funded the study that's involved with the
I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, you can't do it because you have nothing to say about
representatives from the WWE, representatives from the lawsuit, you're more than welcome to come on the show. Let us know what your real position is, and we'll take it from there.
And can I say something else?
No.
There's one more thing I want to say.
Go too far.
No, what I'm going to say is, all of the other media outlets that don't want to touch this, they have a responsibility. If they're fans and they care about these people and they go to the conventions and they talk to them, yet they don't want to talk about this, this is what's happening. And same with football fans. You're gonna blackball a guy who doesn't want to stand for the national anthem, but you're not going to talk about all the other people who are injured and just say, well, it's just blah, blah, blah. They're full of crap. No. The whole load of them. These people, if you're in the media, if you want to talk about this.
Thank you, Velvet Thunder, for joining us today. Head over to Duke Loves Rasslin on Facebook and Twitter. Let us know what you think, folks. I got to get out of here because I want to be honest with you. The Boston Bad Boy has completely gone off the rails here. And I'm telling you right now, I'm just going to end it with this, folks. CTE is a very serious thing, and I would hope, and I'd like to think that Vince McMahon is doing everything in his power to do the right thing by people who have given their lives for this business. And I would hate to think that he's doing anything counter to doing what's right by the boys.